I'm James Pucker. Late last year, I was commissioned to develop a 7-part mini-series tracking the lives of one-hit wonders, those unique individuals who enjoy a fleeting moment of chart success, only to have it disappear just as quickly. On my journey, I stumbled upon forgotten 80s pop star Ricky T. After meeting Ricky for the first time, I realised he had a much bigger story to tell, and that it was my responsibility as a broadcast journalist to share his story with the world. This is his story.
You got that?
Those of you who remember the 1980s may recall the one-hit wonder pop singer Ricky T. Ricky had a big hit in 1983 with the novelty song Candyland, which had the whole country doing that crazy kind of robot dance thing for about 5 minutes or so.
It's been 15 years since your last interview. Why is that?
Well, this is the first time someone's asked me in 15 years.
All of your favourite one-hit wonders of the 80s have been gathered together in one spectacular CD collection.
Introducing the Sloppy Joe, a brand new...
Take it easy, kid. I just want to talk to you.
All of my favourite hits on one spectacular CD collection.
That's right. No more spending out thousands of dollars on CDs just to try and find that one elusive track.
What's happening here in the land of chart-busting 80s?
You couldn't do it?
No.
I couldn't do it. But Time Life have done it.
Do you do parties, kids' parties and things? Do you do political parties?
I remember what I was doing when that track was a hit, but do you remember what you were doing when this one hit the top of the charts?
I wanna be your future man in the world of Candyland. You could be my lollipop and I could be your acid job.
Do you remember when you wrote Candyland?
It really takes me back like it was just yesterday.
How did that song's success affect your life?
Look, I worked damn hard for 10 years just to get that 5 minutes of success.
Amazing value too.
Were those 10 years worth it?
Worth every penny.
What, was 10 years of hard graft worth the 5 minutes of fame?
Absolutely.
Well, we haven't seen or heard from Ricky T in over 20 years, but the word is he's making a comeback.
Once I'd established how many minutes were owing to Ricky,
Five.
I was curious to know where he intended to find them.
Who are we talking about again today? I'm in... Ricky T. My God, that's just something that reverberates around my brain when I think of Ricky T, yeah. Is he dead?
I discovered that rumours of Ricky's demise were greatly exaggerated.
You're going to be top of the pops, mate, top of the pops. How are we going to achieve that? How are we going to manage that? Now, Chrissy has come up with a 6-point plan to revive your career and sustain it.
Absolutely. Have a look up here, Ricky. The first thing we need to talk to you about is public awareness. It's essential. We've got to get you out there. We've got to get you out there in front of people. Because you know what? The people who used to love you are, what are they?
Dead.
How did Harvey intend to revive this dead fan base? The hits of many one-hit wonders are novelty songs at best that are, to an extent, recorded for humour or to cash in on a fad. Was Candyland a serious artistic statement or a novelty?
Well, there was no novelty involved. I'm a serious artist.
Well, give us some background. When did it all start?
Probably in the late 70s. Punk rock was really exploding. The walls were tumbling down. Everything seemed possible. There was a real DIY in the music. Every kid was picking up a guitar and forming some sort of band.
And you did the same?
No, I played keyboards. My mother thought that guitars were phallic symbols and just basically refused to buy me one.
So she bought you a keyboard?
No, she said we had a perfectly good piano working in the living room. And if I was going to waste my time playing that silly pop music, she certainly wasn't going to waste her hard-earned money buying me musical instruments. Those words. Huh.
It's all well and good, Ricky, to play musical instruments, but you'll never make any money out of it.
Which is funny, she was right.
Dr. Charles B. Coulomb, author of...
Pardon me, that's Coulomb.
Coulomb, author of such noted works as 19th Century Prose by Lord Byron, the collected works of Shelley, and the unauthorized biography of Ricky T, Yes, I Candyland.
That's correct.
Whilst writing the book, what was the most striking revelation you found?
I think it was the seminal influence he had on other musicians of his time.
You know, I leafed through that unauthorised biography, and I don't know, maybe I take these things too seriously, but there were few too many factual errors for my liking.
Yeah, I knew Ricky T. We used to hang out together. We were drinking buddies, and it was a whole scene back then. Venue in St Kilda, the Crystal Ballroom.
I think of the Palais Theatre. I think of Bananas nightclub.
I think I met him at the Village Green.
We were all part of the same scene, and he was very alternative.
You know, we used to go to the Chevron on, when after you'd finished a gig, you go up to Pop Stars Corner, which was the little bit of the bar that was raised at the back of the room.
It was a funny time. It was a strange time. It was a time for experimentation. And Ricky was always an experimenter.
That crowd, they were heavy druggies, into all kinds of weird sex and God knows what. Ricky stood out.
We were in a band called Luscious Attention and the Motivated Biscuits. We were basically a backing band for Luscious Attention. A female rock singer, she was signed to Gothic Forehead Records, Anyway, her basic party trick was to sing in the lavatory while we, the band, played on the stage.
At the end of the 70s, Luscious Attention and the Motivated Biscuits came out with this great single, What's the Point?
Anyways, not long after, Luscious decided she didn't want to be a rock singer anymore. Joined the police force. Claimed it was the most punk rock thing she could think of. We tried to carry on, but without the novelty of the toilet, we were doomed.
Amazing. I thought he would have been dead by now.
Well, I tried to carry on. I changed the name of the act to Luscious Ricky and kept the whole novelty of the toilet going. But in the end, it just confused the audience, made them quite angry.
How long did that last for?
Half a song. Then the band decided to start an alternative band, Circus of the Abstract Coffin.
I just thought he was going to be the next, Robert Smith or Morrissey.
Last time I heard, they were playing cruise ships.
Do you remember Ricky's manager?
Big Tony?
Well, you see, I met Ricky back in '83, and he was playing grotty clubs to even grottier customers, I can tell you.
And when he actually appeared under his own name, I can remember thinking, about time.
I met Ricky on the second Cars World Tours. We were touring on the album Candio. Everywhere we'd play, I'd see this guy in the front row and lurking, and so finally I just said hello to him.
He kept raving about that group, the Cars. He followed them around on tour, writing things in his dirty little notebook.
He had all sorts of questions about the production and the arranging ideas on it and how we created some of the sounds. And
no, I wouldn't say his work was derivative.
Asked a lot of detailed questions about that record.
Yeah, Ricky's always had his finger on the pulse, usually somebody else's.
It's really hard to create totally new music.
But he was very influential. You can't take that away from him.
It was really strange the way it happened. One night he's in local pubs playing next to all of us, and next night he was on Countdown.
I remember the sound of those first opening bars of that song.
Hi, this is Gavin Wood. Welcome to Countdown, live across Australia. Please welcome Ricky T.
I wanna be your future man in the world of Candyland. You could be my lollipop and I could be your acid drop.
Oh, mate, you're part of the really cool alternative scene. What are you doing? What are you doing this kind of stuff for?
Sweet kid. Easily manipulated. lucky I was there to guide him.
The music was crisp and punchy, electro in its nature, and there was something sort of, wonderfully disposable, but at the same time sort of effervescent and, quite, charming.
A friend of mine in America rang me up and said, "Oh, have you heard about this guy, Ricky?" And I went, "Oh, no. What? Yeah, he's 15 over here." And I was like, "Oh, no, my God."
October 1983, Ricky releases his debut single, Candyland. Against all expectations, it reaches number 15 in the US charts.
I was sad and blue in the land of W. W stands for waking up alone. I wanna be your future man in the world of Candyland. You could be my lollipop and I could be your acid drop. Drop inside my lonely ship, counting all the stars. Lunar module contemplate, take Mars. I wanna be your future man in the world of Candyland. We could watch Miami Vice. Yes, I think that would be nice. I wrote a poem for you.
Yeah, you only have to hear that riff of Candyland to really just be sort of taken back.
That song, it was number 15, but, mediocre. And so was Ricky, really.
It had a beat and two chords.
His music really polarised people, and sometimes it polarised them off completely.
And he kept trying to write other hit songs with two chords. I said, learn the third chord.
It was a catchy pop culture type of song, He just couldn't do any successful ones after that.
November 1983, Ricky Mania swept the country.
Saturate the market, that's what I always say. Flood the place until the public's drowning, and then throw them something new. They'll cling on to anything.
Been Ricky's #1 fan. How well do you think you know Ricky?
I just, have you read this? It's just, I've read it like 100 times. Every chapter, it's just, Ricky's my true love, but, this one.
He wanted to go and play fucking 50,000 seaters, for God's sake.
Remember that Ricky doll? I got you one for your sister.
Yes, I do remember that.
Well, she never got it.
Mom! Sandy won't let me play with the Ricky doll. Mom! I'm trying to practice the robot.
Girls, can't you just share? There's plenty of Ricky for everyone.
It's the Ricky T Show, starring your very own Ricky T doll. Do the robot, invite your friends, apply his makeup, 15 different combinations. Enter the world of Candyland. The Ricky T doll, new from MD, available at all good toy stores.
It's the Ricky doll.
Scarf and Shade accessories sold separately.
He sold out.
I thought it was amazing at the time. We thought something more was going to come of it.
He had a very meteoric rise for someone with so little talent, I guess.
But the silly bugger, he thought, well, on the success of that, he might put out an album.
Although his debut album only sold 1,000 copies, every kid who went out and bought a copy of that album went on to form their own band.
Horrible album full of karaoke and polka songs,
Yeah, I know, you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, but in 1983, there was big demand for sow's ears.
1983, he comes out with this record, and he was all that then,
His name was in the paper, and people wanted to interview him.
And it just went to his head, and,
Ricky, 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 that's all you hear.
Yeah, he had a massive ego, right out of control.
Awards are like hemorrhoids. Sooner or later, every arsehole gets one.
I noticed that he'd changed from that, the wonderful, innocent, energetic, passionate, potential to the beginnings of an arsehole.
Look, this Ricky T is a loser. Forget it, I don't want to be anything near him. That hit that he had, it wasn't even a hit.
Wasn't a hit. He wanted to represent me at the time.
Really?
Yeah. What happened? Just the budgerigard.
The what?
Doesn't matter.
I joined Ricky at a radio station interview.
Hi, we're back at Triple K 102.7 and you're with Dave Manning. Ding, 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 ding. And with me in the studio tonight is that 80s icon, Ricky. How goes it, Ricky?
Yeah, good, thank you. I'm fine, thank you.
Fine. So, there you were. A failed pop star, a faded memory, destitute on the scrap heap of history. To some, a joke. To some, a trivial pursuit question never asked.
Well, I'm not destitute.
The music world can be a cold, lonely place at the bottom. To be granted a small taste of that sweet golden nectar of success and then to have it stripped away rudely by the fickle gods of rock.
I'm not destitute.
You graced the covers of teen magazines. You had the world at your feet. And then a spectacular fall from grace.
I'm not destitute. Will you tell him half?
Look, I think you'll find he means figuratively.
Fan, fatal fan.
Figuratively?
Destitute doesn't necessarily mean homeless. It can mean poor or impoverished.
Impoverished? I'm not impoverished. I had lunch an hour ago.
No, not literally, Ricky. He means figuratively, like your career is destitute.
I think that you find that he meant that Ricky's life is destitute, devoid of meaning and purpose.
Who shot JR? Wasn't me. I was too busy doing the robot at Velvet's nightclub to the futuristic sounds of Falco.
My life has meaning.
Maybe literally, but not necessarily figuratively.
Figuratively and literally.
Can you be figurative and literal at the same time?
DeLoreans, Commodore 64s.
I think so.
I don't care. I just want him to know that I'm not destitute.
Look, it's not about him, Ricky. It's about getting your name out there.
Plucked from obscurity, handed a second bite of that metaphorical cherry.
And he means literally.
Ricky? Ricky!
Listen, I'm not destitute. I live at home with my mother.
Especially that court case of the incident with the budgerigard, forget it, okay?
Opinions were wide and varied about the enigma that was Ricky T. To understand the real Ricky, I felt I needed to talk to those closest to him. It's toothpaste. He's put toothpaste in his coffee. It's insane. Oh, shh. I got it. How did you meet Ricky?
Quite bizarre, really. I actually was going to my nephew's birthday party. My sister had arranged this blind stage act. It really divided the crowd, you know. Kids can be the toughest critics. And anyway, he won him over in the end. You know, he had great songs, a strong routine. Instinctively, I just knew whoever was in that lion suit,
God, I need another gig.
they were a genius.
The first point we're going to focus on is your image.
My image?
Reinvention, Ricky. We're going to give you a complete makeover.
Why?
To appeal to a broader market.
My market is limited?
Ricky, you don't have a market.
Maybe have him involved in a bizarre dwarf sex ring.
Make a note of that, Chrissy.
Okay.
We need something unusual to capture the public's imagination.
I can't be involved in a bizarre dwarf sex ring. My mother reads those magazines.
Well, it's got to be something unusual.
It's not so unusual in my country.
You know what grabs the public's imagination more than anything else? An aerial stunt. Balloons, spaceships, the public love it. So we have come up with a little aerial stunt just for you, Ricky.
I like dwarf idea better.
I'd wondered at this point who were the women in Ricky's life and what impact had they made, if any.
Ricky actually came into the studio.
Yes, he did, did he? Yes, he
And he was a good sport, I thought.
Well, what an impact he made.
We asked him would he
Around the
sing,
place.
so he went into the production studio. Girls in the building had gone mad,
Hey,
absolutely
not just
mad.
the girls. You were going off your lemon spread yourself, my
Yes,
love.
well, I'm
And-
one of the girls.
And
I introduced him to my fiance, and they kind of hit it off. And let's just say I was devastated.
You know, when he was singing, he kind of
Yeah.
was like pointing through the window.
Oh, yeah,
And yeah.
I think he was pointing at you.
He was.
I really do think he was pointing at you.
When I first met him, he was first getting an interest in music. You know, he also liked the women. And I think he always felt, and he's not going to admit this, but I think he knew that becoming a recording artist gets you laid.
Well, he had great success initially. You know, he had all the girlies and the roadies rejected. He got all of them. You know, he was having a wonderful time.
And Ricky'd always be wanting to pull the Sheilas.
people knew what he was like,
He gave it out.
the girls.
He gave it out. He didn't hold back, did he?
No.
Not in that area.
I think the first time I saw him, oddly enough, was at the Ravenswood, Mae West's old apartment building. She had her arms around him. She was like 98 or something at the time. It was unusual.
He wasn't that discriminatory, really, with the girls. I've seen Ricky with some of the most beautiful girls on the planet, and some of the most ugliest girls on the planet as well.
Yeah, well, it was back in the 80s. I think it was about 83.
Wow,
and I was in the Chantoozies at the time, and Ricky's career was really taking off, and so we discussed that the last thing we needed was to distract from that. I mean, we always joked about if we got married, I'd be Toddy T. So then one day he kind of just didn't call, and he didn't answer, my calls when I rang him. And love affairs build, I think, especially when you can't have each other. It's that thing. But yeah, he was the one that got away for me. I've never met anyone quite there since then.
And you never found out what happened?
No, that's why I'm really interested, because you're sitting here, and that's why I agreed to do this interview.
Well, he met a Russian girl, Bogdana, who was actually married to now.
Wow. No, it's good. No, it's great. I'm really happy for him. Really. How old is she?
She's young.
Yeah.
She'd be in
right.
her mid-20s. She's a really lovely girl.
Oh, I'm sure she's a lovely girl. Is she wealthy?
No.
Good. I'm happy for them both.
Is there anything you want to say to Ricky?
She won't think I'm an asshole.
You're an asshole.
Bogdana, I think, is definitely his Yoko. If he were part of a band, they'd have broken up over her, but of course he's solo, so that's not likely to happen.
Just like John Denver in his plane.
They met on the internet. Apparently, maybe some money changed hands. I don't know these things.
You know what, man? I need a minute, because now I'm pissed. Now I'm just fucking pissed. Why am I even helping this sucker with his film? He stole my girlfriend.
You're an asshole, Ricky, and look, I don't want to do this anymore, really. I'm sorry. You're a fuckwit. Do you know that? You're an asshole. Fuckwit. And you can go to hell.
If you're gonna just party and not take music seriously, you'll be like just a one-hit wonder. One-hit wonder, one-hit wonder, one-hit wonder, one-hit wonder. No!
Listen, I don't know about this, guys. What if something goes wrong?
Trust me, Ricky, nothing can go wrong with this.
Rick, we've covered all bases and left nothing to chance. You'll be fine.
And besides, look, we're going to be in constant radio communication.
How long are we going to be up there for?
Just a couple of hours, just enough time to draw a crowd and make the 6 o'clock news, then you'll come straight down.
Think big aerial stunt. Think Branson.
Well, is this thing being tested?
Absolutely. A guy in Brazil did this just recently. Exactly the same stunt.
Really?
What exactly are you hoping to achieve with this stunt today?
That Branson's not the only one who can pull off great aerial stunts.
Well, this is hardly space exploration.
This is space exploitation. Ricky's out to show that anyone can reach for the sky.
Is there any risk involved for Ricky?
As you can see, our very own safety expert is checking and double-checking the rigging as we speak.
It's right to go. Hey, mate, if anything goes wrong, can I have your status quo, please?
Yeah, thanks, mate. You ready, buddy?
No.
That's the spirit. Always the joker. Rope secure?
In my hand.
All right, people. Let him go slowly.
Oh, no.
Come on, mate. Looking good. Stay strong.
Oh, steady. Oh.
Come on, mate. Looking good.
Oh, no.
You okay there, Ricky?
Are you sure he's safe up there? It looks kind of flimsy.
Every safety precaution has been methodically taken care of.
But what if there's a big gust of wind?
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom, over.
Major Tom to ground control, over.
Ground control to Major Tom, over.
Ground control, hello.
Major Tom, can you hear me?
The circuit's dead.
Is there something wrong?
Can you hear me, Major Tom?
You think that planet Earth is blue?
Do you reckon he's all right?
Of course he's all right. He's tied to a rope.
Major Tom to ground control. Over.
Ah, crack the rope! What about my head? Shit, oh shit, oh shit!
Oh my God.
Back, Fox, everything's under control! Oh, thank God for that.
Are you serious? What the hell are you doing with a bloody rifle?
It's not a real rifle, it's an air rifle. He's not a lame horse, you can't just shoot him. I'm not shooting at talent, I'm aiming for the balloon. Is it safe? Aye, it's safe. I use it for shooting pigeons. I was a crack shot on the reserve. Just be careful.
Oh, what the hell was that?
Oh, I'm a bit rusty. This isn't good. Oh, that isn't good.
Ground control.
You've hurt yourself.
Oh, it's just a bump on the head.
Actually, I heard he had a really nasty accident.
I hope it wasn't anything trivial.
I mean, if you've got to make a jackass out of yourself, you might as well do it in front of the entire world, you know.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the world,
Gary Barlow is a twat. I knew him from Take That.
Bollocks!
Yeah, Gary
Robbie
Barlow
Williams
was a twat.
is not a charity.
Still is one.
My
Yeah.
man
Gary
Robbie
Barlow
is a
twat.
bloody superstar. You get back to me when you're ready.
Oh, how embarrassing. Only in Australia.
Does anyone remember that tosser?
Yeah, I remember that he had a single out when I was a kid. It was something like, I wanna be your future man, live in the worlds of Candyland. Fuck, I think it's got,
We might be able to use this. We're due in Australia
I wanna
next
be
month,
your
right?
future
Not
man,
bad.
live in
Not
the
bad
worlds
at
of
all.
Candyland. I wanna be your
Your thoughts on
future
Ricky
man,
T?
live in
Wake
the
up.
worlds of Candyland.
He asked me to come and jam with him. There was something about my guitar playing with Kiss. He wanted me to jam on his pop material. Now, the problem is I don't like keyboard players, you know. I think they're wanky and whiny and...
Harvey organises a benefit gig to raise funds for Ricky T's recovery. The turnout did seem promising.
Oh, fucking big boy. Oh, big brother.
What are you two doing? You're supposed to be sick.
He looks sick, he's fine. I'm an actor, Chrissy. I know what I'm doing here. I've gone through it with Harvey 1,000 times.
All right then, smart guy. Why are you here?
I'm here for the publicity.
Okay, and much needed publicity at that, so I expect you to behave yourself. Please make welcome
Shit, that band's good.
Just give me a cough or something. You don't even look sick. Oh, you can do better than that. Put a bit of phlegm into something. Hello, Chrissy speaking. Yes. Okay.
Oh, Ricky!
Oh, I'll call you back.
Surfing a wave of pollution. There's nothing you can do. Feels like summer. Feels like I'm in the zoo. We are freak shows.
Let's hear it for Ricky T! Miraculous recovery, ladies and gentlemen!
I'd wondered whether or not Ricky's behaviour was reflective of his general career problems.
He's a dick. He is a dead set dick.
It's so easy to play the keys. You just hit the keys and everything sounds right. Except to me, he played out of tune. And I don't know how a keyboard player can play out of tune.
It represents everything that's fake in music.
Phony. Now, what does that mean anyway?
Ultra-violence.
Well, my parents never argued. I never had a healthy outlet for my anger. It's something I've learned to overcome. That's sort of conditioning. And I think Bogdan is the same.
Couldn't get her off. He was screaming, she was screaming, the roadies came up, the more they tried to pull the girl off, the more hair was coming out.
And there's blood everywhere, you know, and Ricky's on the floor.
And we didn't know what to do, and it was quite a frightening situation, to tell you the truth. And you could tell that Ricky was in pain.
I think it's a great mark of our relationship that we allow ourselves to be angry at each other.
In May 1985, Ricky releases his anti-war anthem, It's a Cold, Cold War.
It's a cold, cold war, I remember that.
It's a cold, cold war. We've seen it all before. Under the mushroom cloud, the children scream and shout.
Yeah, put that away.
That was your 1985 almost hit, It's a Cold, Cold War.
And fondly remembered.
Were you always into politics?
I was involved in all sorts of different action groups.
What was your aim for the song?
I just wanted to make a statement about the threat of living under a nuclear holocaust and the futility of war. I remember Boy George singing, war is stupid, people are stupid, but that didn't go far enough. Didn't answer the big questions. Why is war stupid? Why are people stupid?
And It's a Cold, Cold War was your response.
I wore my heart out on my sleeve with that song. Left, right, red, blue, black, white. Who cares? You know, in the big scheme of things, we're all just people.
And here was Ricky sort of getting a bit plaintive and a little bit sort of, over-earnest, you might say, about the cold, cold war.
Did the song accomplish everything you set out to achieve?
I accomplished everything I set out to do with that song.
It reached 105 in the charts.
It wasn't a commercial success, it was an artistic success.
It was a bad, bad song.
In fact, your record company dumped you soon afterwards.
It was a victory for humanity.
It went down like the Hindenburg.
Whatever you do, do not give him my number. The guy is a first-class BS artist.
He wasn't just flogging a dead horse.
By the end, we were even selling the glue.
He was fun. He was a fabulous dancer, but attractive. Definitely not my type.
I'm a musician, so I love his music. I think that, I'm concerned about his health, though. He's been having a lot of health issues, and if he's going to come back, he has to be strong and healthy. Hate to get him on tour, and then he hurt himself out there, so.
You know, James, every morning I'd write down a list.
List?
Yeah, a list of things I wanted to accomplish that day. I'd write down the list to inspire me, help me achieve my goals. Firstly, I wrote down the list just to help me stay focused. I used to write on the list things I'd already done and then simply cross them out to give me a sense of achievement. And then I realised that the action itself is not as important as the sense of accomplishment. So I stopped the action and just wrote things on the list and simply crossed them out. And it's tremendously inspiring.
Did you ever get anything done?
Well, it got me out of a rut and gave me a sense of routine, which was severely lacking. How much should we stick in this? That much, yeah? Are we still on spin, yeah?
And now you're going to want to go extra rinse.
It's not going.
Probably broken.
What's that?
Part of the problem in trying to measure Ricky, not just as a talent, but as a man, is that people leave out the philanthropic side of his character. And it's very, very, very well defined. You may remember Live Aid. Well, Ricky was invited to Live Aid.
And he arrives in London to go to Wembley, and he discovers there's been a bit of a mix-up.
It's not the Wembley Live Aid that he was supposed to be at, but the Philadelphia Live Aid.
He's out to Heathrow and jumps on the Concorde, gets to Philadelphia and discovers...
Actually, the wires had been crossed, and it was the Wembley Live Aid he was supposed to be at.
A comedy of errors, a mild disaster, but it was so funny.
So he gets back on Concorde and goes across to London and arrives there too late.
Does that stop him? No.
Off he goes to Addis Ababa, you know, in Ethiopia.
Sets up right in front of the Jubilee Palace, starts performing.
With a box of M&Ms.
Gives away free candy, M&Ms and so on to the children, the starving children in the street.
Like, that's gonna stop starvation.
I mean, this was direct aid. It doesn't seem like a great deal to people maybe giving out candy to starving children, but I assure you, it was a lot more than was done on the site in either Philadelphia or Wembley. I know, I was at Wembley, you couldn't get anything free out of those people. I was with the press, I got nothing.
Yeah, he was burned out after Live Aid. In fact, he told me himself that he just couldn't take all that giving.
Sometimes he gave too much. He was the first person to be diagnosed with chronic compassion fatigue.
He probably had a lot of years after Live Aid to think about what went wrong. You know, something plainly did.
What do you think of Ricky T's comeback?
I didn't know he came back.
Have you ever liked his music at one stage?
Used to be, yeah. When he first started, 80s.
No, but I think the problem was he was too nice. A dickhead, really. Something wrong with him.
Tell us about Ricky's appearance on Celebrity Perfect Match.
I reckon it's probably the worst experience that I've ever had on television.
The worst?
There was a girl who asked a question, and a fairly innocent question too. She said, "What's the wildest thing you've ever done?" And number one, pretty good answer, I thought. He said he'd bungee jumped off a hot air balloon. Contestant number two said he'd run naked down Burke Street one New Year's Eve. Good answer. And then Ricky comes on.
Go on.
Well, what he said almost got the show axed.
What did he say?
The wildest experience that he'd ever had was that he went out and he That's what he did. And I don't know what happened after that. How could you go and like that? Right up the And I thought, Ricky, you are just an unbelievable come into this television station, you come on the show, and then you go and say you And then he went on to say that she was a stuck his It was like someone with Tourette's syndrome. Ass. You know, the stupidity is she picked him.
Thanks, Greg.
Television really lost its innocence that day.
After that perfect match debacle, I cut him loose. I had bigger fish to fry with Lamal.
Look, mate, I just don't think things are working out for us. We're just not giving each other what we... Yeah?
Harvey, Ricky T here to see you.
Great.
With Bogdana.
Oh. Ricky, good to see you. Bogdana. So how have you been? Have you recovered from that nasty little mishap?
Mishap, my ass! The stunt you pulled on my Ricky was more like an exercise of public humiliation.
Well, as long as you're okay, Ricky, sit down.
I'm fine, Half, I'm fine. Listen, mate, listen, what's up next? Another stunt?
No, the reason I've called you in here today is for a broad stroke view of our symbiotic relationship, to recontextualise and to incubate some transitional changes within the core group, to synergise our creative paradigm.
What the hell are you talking about?
Look, Ricky, I'm just going to give it to you straight. We're going to have to part ways. Part ways? A time comes in every relationship where you need to move on.
What is this? What's this? What is part ways?
Look.
You got an urgent call, Harv?
Not now. I'm busy. A time comes in every relationship where what we need to do is...
Harvey, really need to take this call.
Not now. I'm with Ricky.
Part ways with who? With me?
Dropping Ricky?
Not now. I'm busy, all right?
Take the fucking call, Harvey. It's about to boil.
Hello, Harvey Halliwell speaking.
You don't
Yes.
understand. My
Are you
life
kidding?
is at stake here. You go do something about it.
You're not kidding.
I don't care. You just do
3
something.
weeks.
I have your
Oh,
balls
yes.
and I'm chopping on
Look,
dice.
there's no guarantee. Yes. No. My people get in contact.
Пельмени я из вас сделаю.
Unfreaking believable.
Now, do it.
Just tell me straight, Harvey. I can take the truth. Are you dropping me?
Dump him and I sue your ass.
Not too sure what's just happened in there, but it seems like Robbie Williams' manager has just called Harvey offering Ricky the support gig at Robbie Williams' Australian concert.
Robbie, don't do it to yourself, mate. He'll let you down.
Do you really think Robbie Williams fucking sits at home and watches TV and goes, I want that guy to open for me in Australia?
Robbie Williams is going to give you the boot after the first song.
You do your one hit and then bugger off.
It's a waste of time and money.
Yeah, well, he's making a comeback, and that's about right, because before you can be resurrected, first you got to die.
Cream might rise to the top. So to floaters.
We're just wondering what you think of Ricky T's comeback.
Haven't heard of it. We'll see if he can remake himself. He's got a lot to do to come back, but I think he's got a chance. I guess it comes to mind, I wonder, what is he coming back to?
Eurogliders used to go around and do these school concerts for young people to ward them off drugs. And we did actually have Ricky come and do a support with us on that tour. It was like 3 days. And man, I just had to hook him off stage one night because we were playing at this Catholic school, a girls' school.
Next minute, the door just burst open, and in ran Ricky with Crack, the head roadie, stark naked, except for a pair of cowboy boots each.
And he came out sort of doing the whole, you know, rock and fucking roll. And these girls were like 7 and 8 years old.
Before he went on, he was told in no uncertain fashion not to throw beer into the audience. So the wanker walks on in the first song and throws 24 cans of beer in the audience, which all promptly fucking came back and hit him in the head.
Now this guy, half a can, he was anybody's, you know, and he'd start vomiting before he could finish a song, you know. He'd drink the can and he'd start singing and, you know, and he would vomit. And the people in the front row, I mean, you can't expect a career to go on.
Oh, yeah, you threw up on me. God.
I mean, I thought I'd give him a second chance. I went to his house and Peter Andre was sitting on his couch and you're like, oh, God. And they got up and they did that dance together, that Peter Andre thing together. I'm just thinking, you used to be the coolest thing ever, man.
I was at a party once, you know, an after gig party, you know, where all the beautiful people were. Someone slipped a sugar cube into my coffee. I don't take sugar. I knew something was wrong straight away. I started to panic and hyperventilate. Everyone's faces turned into laughing, grotesque gargoyles. Someone advised me to put my head in between my legs. I really thought I was going to die.
LSD?
Placebo. Placebo.
So no LSD, just a harmless lump of sugar?
That's not just a harmless lump of sugar. That unlocked my full potential. The placebo effect, man, it's really trippy. Once it wore off, I just raced home and studied up on its qualities. Qualities. I studied up on the transcendental benefits of the placebo. Of Peter Fonda. Peter! Oh, it's not him. It's not him. Sorry. Looked like him.
It may not hurt, but then again it may. Drugs
dogs are like that too, you know.
You look at him now, fried his mind. What does that mean? I think he's as sharp as he ever was.
The wheel keeps turning, but the hamster's long since departed.
I think it's good, finally. I mean, after a quick loss of his mind. Oh, I hope this gets him back on track.
Sang well, but played the keyboards out of tune. Drove me crazy.
Now, it'd easily cost thousands of dollars and a lot of time to schlep around and find all these tracks.
With mounting pressure from the media, Harvey calls a press conference to dispel the rumours involving Ricky's erratic behaviour.
Ricky, some people are suggesting you burn out and won't be able to perform your support gig. What's your response to that?
Look, Ricky is mentally and physically at his peak.
How come Ricky was over an hour late for this press conference?
Look, Ricky is the sort of person who gets up at 6 a.m. every morning regardless of what the time is, so I don't think his punctuality is under question here.
But it is under question. It is under question. He was over an hour late.
Look, Axl Rose was 4 hours late for a gig once. Why don't you ask him?
Because it's not Axl Rose's press conference.
Exactly, so let's focus on Ricky T and not Axl Rose's tardiness. Next.
Ricky, is it true that you recently had a nervous breakdown?
Nervous breakdown? Look, Ricky is 110% mentally fit. He is ready for this gig. It's true he's had some tough times in the past, and it's no secret that he had a nervous breakdown. However, he was having a tough time mentally too, so you've got to get these things in perspective. It just made him stronger, more determined, and focused.
Ricky! There's been rumours floating around that you've been relying on managers, mystics, whatever, just to help you get through. How do you respond to that?
Look, Ricky T is of sound mind and body. He's a strong, independent individual who makes his own choices and decisions, and I think he would be insulted to hear you suggest otherwise. Next. Ricky!
Can you tell us if you're looking at mind-altering substances like you did in the past?
Look, Ricky is not using any illicit drugs of any type. He's not on any medication.
But what about him? I mean, China, when he took the drugs.
Well, thank you so much.
Somebody else, perhaps you should stop smoking drugs. Thank you. Ricky!
I interviewed Lamar last week and you wouldn't even account for a pimple on his ass, mate.
It's the 70s, 80s and the best new songs. Here's a blast from the 80s. It's Ricky T and Candyland on Vega. Really, this song sucks. I mean, sure, in the 80s it sounded okay, but now it's just dreadful.
In 1988, Ricky releases the single Bury the Squirrels. It fails to chart anywhere except Germany.
We actually sort of got together and tried to write some songs.
I knew if we could get together, we'd come up with a f***ing corker.
I said, Ricky, do you have any ideas?
I had this idea, Buried Squirrel, about the injustice of roadkill, you know. I mean, we all see it. We live in denial.
Bury a squirrel. I like that.
Buried squirrel!
Can't you see the possums trying to cross the road? Can't you see the lyrebird lying, telling her it's safe to go? The wheels of industry turning, road trains taking their claim. The heart of Australia burning, like indigestive floor intestinal pain. The time has come to bury the squirrels. The time has come to lend a hand. The time has come to scrape up the squirrels. Their blood's all over my hands.
It's a great song, that one.
Bury the Squirrels wasn't successful in any country but Germany, which is sort of ironic because they can't even pronounce squirrel. 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 Or squirrel. Bury the squirrels. Bury the squirrels.
That was a total failure too for Ricky, unfortunately.
Has anyone ever pointed out to the daft bastard that Australia doesn't even have any squirrels?
It was a metaphor. for possums.
The way he sings about the environment, he should be in politics.
You know, sometimes the church still do it on stage. They love it, you know, Canada. Buried squirrel! It's a fucking corker.
We're Geisha, and you're watching.
Guys, we're not Rage. We're still the documentary team.
And he called me from Australia, and it was like 4 a.m, and he said he had this great idea. He was producing an all-black heavy metal band called Masters of Johnson. He said that I would share publishing with him, and I don't even want to tell you the song titles, but it sounded like a good idea at the time.
He was always crapping on about it's what you don't play, that's what's important.
You know, the great thing about Ricky's music, it wasn't the notes that were played, it was the notes he didn't play. And they used to spend a lot of time rehearsing those silences for hours and hours.
The magic about Ricky when he performed wasn't what he did during the songs. It was what he did between the songs that was magic.
You'd listen through the door and you wouldn't hear anything. And that was Ricky rehearsing the space and the silence in his music.
You know, yeah, fair enough, you don't want to overplay, but he'd be crapping on about listen to the silence. And you go, shut the fuck up.
It was compressed, it was flanged, it was all sorts of EQ, but that silence, it just wasn't ordinary silence. It was Ricky's silence.
So did you ask Chrissy out? Yeah. She said yes? No. She said no? No. What'd you do?
She just actually walked away.
Well, that's not good.
Well, it's not that bad.
Well, it is bad. She just walked away.
It's not that bad.
It's bad. You've got to ask her out again, man.
No way, she might say no.
She probably will say no.
Great news. We have just landed you a big, fat, juicy endorsement.
Very exciting.
And there's only one contractual obligation on your part. Mention their product once per interview.
And wear the sponsor's logo on a visible item of clothing at all times.
Well, who is that? Fender? Gibson?
Ricky Backer. That'd be cool.
No. Musical endorsement is so 80s. Look, we're trying to get away from that image, Ricky.
Harvey's managed to line up something really relevant. It's really quite groundbreaking.
Budweiser? Chevrolet?
Fiber flakes.
Fiber flakes?
The 80s are all about fast food, gluttony, greed. The 21st century is all about looking after yourself, organic food, exercising, caring for the environment, and all that other tree-hugging crap.
Yeah, but Fiber Flakes is not really rock and roll.
Fiber Flakes is rock and roll. What do you think's on Aerosmith's backstage rider? Fiber Flakes. Sting. Fiber Flakes. And you know what Fiber Flakes says to the public?
I'm constipated.
Fiber Flakes says you're healthy, you're relevant, and you're regular. And that's what the modern age is all about.
What, being regular?
Just a regular guy, salt of the earth.
Yeah, regular Joe, man of the people.
A modern folk hero, full of moral fibre.
Yeah, like Ned Kelly.
Ned Kelly?
Yeah, but more relevant.
And healthier.
All sorts of names come to mind, all sorts of ideas, but...
Loser.
Wanker.
Well, Donna, honey, what do you think?
You look like a mudak.
A mudak?
Mudak. Asshole.
It doesn't look cool.
Your manager, pizdia. You look ridiculous.
Oh, come on, I kind of like it. What about the hat?
You don't like it. You take it off and you burn it.
It would help if you were just a little more supportive.
Supportive? What are you? Pizda с ушами?
I bet you Robbie Williams has much more supportive people sitting around him.
I've been supporting your sorry ass for 6 months now! Where is my nice car? Where is my fur coats? Supportive? You stick your supportive up your ass! You got joy! Oh, I'm going to find Robbie Williams.
You care for a sedative?
Get out! Get out, all of you!
No, what do you think of Ricky T's comeback?
He's still a scene. We haven't heard anything from him lately, though.
What you got to give? That gift is in you. You know, you can't really get rid of it.
Like,
you know?
like Whitney Houston can come back. No, Michael Jackson can come back. Everybody can come back.
In 1991, Ricky T released the single Days in the Rain. It was both critically and commercially ignored.
If they could only understand the sadness and your pain, yet it only makes me love you more, small daisy in the rain. Please don't grow up too fast, you know I love that child in you. Images you play and cast, you know that I see through. Wake up and live, or your sadness refrained, and may you live forever. You're just a daisy in the rain. How can I not love you? Your smile keeps me sane, and may you fly forever, just like John Denver in his plane.
Let's rewind to 1991 and your failed glam ballad Daisy in the Rain.
Pretty dark time.
After a tank, you completely disappeared off the radar. The rumour mill went into overdrive. You were living in a Tibetan monastery, another that you were farming radishes in Scotland, and another that you were driving across Africa in a trabant stolen from a U2 concert.
Absolute lies. Where do you get this nonsense?
We interviewed your mother.
Well, I didn't steal it, I borrowed it.
What happened next?
I was burnt out. I had no direction. I just wanted to get off the merry-go-round. So I just cashed in my savings, bought a Harley Davidson, travelled around Australia just to get in touch with myself again, focus on what's important.
How far did you go?
Oh, pretty far.
Where did you go?
Oh, here and there.
Did you go to the top end?
Well, not quite.
Gold Coast?
Well, almost.
Sydney?
I wasn't planning for Sydney.
Ricky, you didn't make it out of the state, did you? Why?
Ah, there you go. You want a coffee? No? All right. Well, that's when I had the nasty accident.
Seriously?
Yeah, fell off my bike. Near-death experience.
How fast were you going?
About 140 k's.
140k? Shit, no.
Jaguar cut me off, arsehole.
He overbalanced at the lights and fell over, and his stupid shitbox landed on top.
Hit the road really hard.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, that's when I had my religious experience.
Funniest thing I've ever seen.
After I hit the road, there was this flash of blinding light. Then this darkness. I looked up, and this name, Ikusis, it was implanted in my brain. Just standing there, enveloped in this beautiful shimmering light.
Once the boys and I stopped laughing our guts out, I walked over and I said to him, "You okay, mate?"
Are you okay?
Are you okay? I've never heard that. Words arranged like that. Are you okay?
Well, he kind of gurgled a bit and looked like an abandoned puppy dog, so we picked him up. He follows around for the next month.
Very, very enigmatic man. Profound wisdom.
Super bugger was convinced I was the Messiah or something.
He convinced me that the end of the world was coming. He invited me to join him and his followers down to the Holy Mountain on a pilgrimage.
So we're off to Mount Panorama for the big race. The race to end all races, you know. Ricky hitched a ride with us. We kind of took him under our wing. Yeah, the lad was a bit of a mess.
Yeah, there we were, standing there, waiting for the end of the world.
I think he banged his head pretty hard on the road.
Suddenly, the heavens opened up. There was this roar. I thought the sky was going to cave in. It was extraordinary. You know what happened then?
No.
Nothing. Zilch. The Messiah never showed up. End of the world never happened. I was just standing there on this hill with this bunch of idiots. I was pretty disillusioned at the time. And I met these bikers, gave me a lift home. Nice bunch of fellas. Felt like I'd known them for ages.
Yeah, we dropped him off at the hospital. I reckon he had severe concussion. Never saw him again. Funny little bugger.
You see people at the Arias every year, you catch up, you'd say, Gadinsky, how's Ricky going? Gadinsky, you'd be like, oh, don't ask. Shuggy, you'd be like, oh, last time I saw him, he was in his mum's
sewing room, believe it or not. There was talk of him, jamming with the Tibetan monks. There was talk of him, just becoming a hermit on an island.
I sort of liken him to Halley's Comet, if you like. A bright star appears in the sky for just a moment, and all of a sudden, poof, gone.
What happened to those bands Rick influenced?
Same deal, poof, gone.
Because at the end, his nerves were shot to pieces, and he'd take gigs and he wouldn't turn up. Then he'd send other people along pretending to be him, and of course that would always fall in a heap.
I once gave Ricky a piece of advice. It was simply this:
Do yourself a favour and give up.
When he disappeared, I didn't really think about him anymore.
I hadn't heard from him for ages and ages, and then one day I got a message. I was walking along the beach, and this bottle washed up. And what are the chances? I picked up the bottle, and opened it up, and there was nothing inside. Exactly like Ricky.
You know, I used to go behind Coles and get, you know, thrown out pizzas and things, and it was pathetic.
That's really my main recollection of him, other than the time I met him round at Grant McLennan's. But then he was delivering a pizza, and after he went, McLennan went, "Fuck, do you know who that was?" And I said, "No." He said, "It was fucking Ricky." And I said, "Ricky who?" And he went, you know, Candyland, started doing the song. I went, "No way, delivering a pizza." And McLennan said, "Yeah, not only that, but it's cold."
I kind of feel bad about the guy because he is kind of like an icon and one of those lost kind of magical people in the music world, one-hit wonder.
Yeah, it's all over for him.
You're Ricky's sponsor at Alcoholics Anonymous. Can you tell us about that period?
No. When it was,
My record company, Arista, had sent me to the Betty Ford Clinic in 1994, and they were saying to me, "Oh, you're really going to like it here." And I was going, "I'm not going to like it here at all." And they were going, "No, you're going to like it here. There's another Australian guy here. He's a singer, and he's had a hit and all that." I was going, "God, who could it be?" I was hoping it was going to be Nick Cave or somebody like that. And anyway, I go to the first meeting, and then this guy gets up. It's Ricky.
Steve Kilby. He was disappointed. I thought it was going to be Nick Cave as well.
Maybe he was a good, comedian too. Maybe he was a good lover, you never know. But as far as I was concerned, the guy played out of tune.
Do you have anything to say to Ricky? He's on the verge of a comeback.
What do I think of the course of Ricky's life? Well, all right, mistakes were made.
You see, he was just too good a musician for his age. He played in dance bands with older fellas, and they taught him things he'd be better off not knowing.
That's true. But I don't think we should lose sight of the big picture.
But of course, having said all that, Ricky is a lovely bloke. A little needy, maybe.
We studied every psychotherapy technique under the sun, from Yanov's primal scream to Beethoven's evolution of the whisper.
You are a mole.
I hate your guts.
How did that benefit you?
It's emotional stuff, You're focusing on what's inside and what comes out.
Drugs are like that. But then, of course, he moved on from drugs to the guru.
No, not this guru. That guru.
You have to be understanding. That understanding or knowing is knowing. That we cannot be knowing or understanding.
I understand that.
You do? But are you knowing that?
Well, I don't know. I don't think I can face an audience again.
We perceive our perceptions, Ricky.
Perceive our perceptions?
Our perceptions of the audience.
The audience perception?
The perception of the audience is not important. If they cannot hear you playing, are you really playing at all?
Then what am I doing?
You're giving birth.
Giving birth?
Exactly, Ricky. You and the audience are the parents.
And I'm the baby?
No. You are the musician. The audience is the audience. Together, you are the parents of the music.
Then who's the doctor delivering the baby?
Perhaps your manager.
Perhaps your manager?
Is my career in breach? Can I sue him for malpractice?
No. It is not important who is the doctor.
Well, it is to me.
No. What is important is your perception of your parents.
My parents?
No, Ricky. You are the musician. The audience is the audience. Together, you are the parents of the baby. The music.
You want me to sleep with the audience? Isn't that what got me in trouble in the first place?
I'm talking metaphorically.
I'm speaking metaphorically.
Oh, so every performance is like a one-night stand and the songs are illegitimate bastard offspring of my perceptive tradition.
Yes. Yes, Ricky. The enormous intransient expectation of the parental audience. Now, Ricky, you are 9 months pregnant. You're beginning to have contractions.
Now go, Ricky. Give birth to that baby. Send it kicking and screaming with joy into the world.
Go, Ricky. Go and give birth to that baby into the world.
The baby is the music.
And you're going to make a wonderful mother, Ricky. Embrace that baby to your warm, swollen bosoms, lactating with the harmonic juice of love. Feed the baby, Ricky. Feed the music.
I'm the mummy.
You're the mummy. What? Yeah, he's gone.
And another thing, no smoking. It's disgusting and it looks terrible.
It's my only vice.
Well, now you have no vices. Perk up, be proud.
Come on, Harvey, I need my cigarettes.
It's a character flaw.
Everyone's got character flaws. I'm a walking character flaw. I'm under a lot of stress here, man.
I'm under more stress than you, buddy. You don't see me sucking on those death sticks. A lot more stress.
Really, Mr. Perfect? I suppose your little toothpaste addiction is no big deal then.
What do you mean?
You think people don't notice, do you? Taking sly hits of pure fluoride, you should be ashamed of yourself. Standing here lecturing me on character flaws. You're a joke, man.
Toothpaste, it's in my ears and in my eyes. It's on the floor, it's everywhere. It's in my hair, and it's nice and it's white and minty. I think you would use much more than what they're recommending. Can't you somehow agree? If it's one of what was expected. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Should I go and see a doctor?
With Ricky being out of the spotlight for 15 years, a warm-up gig is arranged.
Hi everyone, welcome to Asylum. We have a huge night for you here. Do not touch that dial. We have 80s superstar Ricky T live in the flesh. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be huge. Don't touch that dial.
I'm busy! Will you fuck off? Cut! What are you doing with that? You plug that one in! I tell you, plug that, no, plug the other one! It's a cordless microphone, it's not supposed to have a bloody cord in it! The time has come to bury the squirrels. The time has come to lend a hand. The time has come to scrape up the squirrels. The blood's all over my hands. The time.
The receptive crowd and a near flawless performance, the warm-up gig was hailed as a complete success. Optimism within the Ricky camp was at an all-time high. Was everything finally falling into place for Ricky?
But when it warmed up, I know it's a start, but you wait till the next gig.
I'm talking to Ricky T. Welcome to Asylum TV, Ricky. Wow, it was 20 years ago to this day that you first scored your one and only chart hit with Candyland. You look great dancing up there.
Well, just look at the moves.
Yeah, dancing monkey for peanuts.
You look like you might have hurt yourself with last week's mishap.
Well, not really. I mean, you know, it was just a bit of fun, you know.
Misstep my ass.
No, really, it was a bit of fun.
Well, we thoroughly enjoyed tonight's performance and we hope you'll join us again really soon.
This show is bullshit. Ricky's too good for this
Excuse
show.
me, who the fuck are you?
Listen, who the fuck are you? Now you listen to me. Ricky is #1 rock star in the whole world. He is better than Robbie Williams. Better than him. You show him some respect. No more bullshit questions.
Hey, give me back my mic.
No,
Emotions certainly were running high.
I didn't know he was coming back. I guess I'm interested to see what he has in store.
How he was ever famous, I don't even know.
He had the magic. He had the X factor.
Ricky had Y factor. It's much, much more powerful factor than X factor. With X factor, you kind of ask yourself, how is this person a star and what are the qualities that make him a star? But with the Y factor, you're left wondering, why is this person a star?
Why was Ricky so amazing? Well, he had the Max factor, didn't he?
I wanna be your future man in the candy land. In the candy land. Oh, yeah, baby. In the candy land. All right, baby.
Yeah, well, look, I would have had it done sooner too if it wasn't for that boil on my ass. Yeah. Okay, look, I've got to go, Miles. Cheers. Good news, Ricky. We've got a choreographer lined up for you.
Choreographer? My back's fine.
Choreographer, mate, not chiropractor. Dancing, you know?
I can dance.
Not like this, you can't.
I practically invented the robot.
That might have been cute in 1982, Ricky, but it's not going to cut it with today's audience. Now, Tarquin, he's going to bring you up to date with some new moves. He's going to make you more contemporary.
My fan base aren't going to like this half.
Ricky, you don't have a fan base.
Well, if I did, I can guarantee you they'd hate it.
Ricky, labels don't take people on unless they can write, they can sing, and they can dance.
He's right, you know.
Bullshit. What about Neil Young?
When was the last time Neil Young had a top 5 hit?
Well, you don't see Bob Dylan pirouetting around on stage. Pirouetter?
Bob Dylan wouldn't be signed today.
What about Van Morrison? I bet you he doesn't have a dancing chiropractor.
Ricky, tell me, when was the last time that Van Morrison was doing a duet with Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl? When was that? Eh?
Surprise! Oh, I've seen better legs hanging out of a bird's nest. But don't worry, Ricky, it won't be the Robbie show. It will be the Ricky extravaganza. Now, let's check out how well-toned you are. Oh, I asked for Nabokov and you sent me Doughboy. From now on, you are on a low-carb diet. Remember, Ricky, an instant on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. Now, Chrissy? Chrissy, where are my 6 African nubile dancers?
Right, okay. Harvey and I talked about this and we went through the budget. I thought
The budget? Darling, this is art, not commerce. I cannot work like this. I specifically asked for 6 nubile African backing dancers, and you present me with Doughboy.
Okay, I'll call Harvey, it's fine.
You do that, darling, and meantime, I'll just have to slum it. I'll have to treat this as a charity exercise.
What, a charity?
Oh, no, not you, darling. You are a pearl among swine. I am going to drag you kicking and screaming into the stratosphere of the sublime. I will elevate you to your rightful place amongst the gods. But let's start with something simple. I want you to imagine you're an ice cube melting in the sun. You can join in too. And you. Melting in the sun.
Melting.
Melting. Hot sun,
Melting in the sun. Melting with Ricky.
Every day I walk on water.
Ricky, you have come so far. Okay, everyone, take 15.
Ricky. My words are taking you to a state of blissful enlightenment to enable you to perform these very difficult tasks.
Well, I'm not sure if it's bliss that I'm feeling.
I have done many positive things for you, and now you must readdress the universal karmic balance in order to obtain true sustaining happiness.
Karmic balance?
I am requiring a mere 10% of the gross of the tour merchandising.
10%?
I know in your heart of hearts you want to give me more. As Baba Meinhof once said, a wise man knows when to feed the trough of destiny with the pitchfork of divinity.
He did?
Oh yes, very, very wise man.
Hey, Swami. Did I look cool?
You look like a schmuck.
Ricky, you all right?
No, Wen, I don't want to know anything. Forget it. No, no, don't even, no. Hi.
Yeah, look, we can do...
Harvey. No way.
No.
No how.
Okay.
I'm not a dancing monkey. Not for you, not for anybody. No way. No way.
Yep.
This is ridiculous. I look ridiculous. I feel ridiculous. This is not who I am. This is not what I'm about.
I've just got to have a boil removed from my ass.
You should get that boil looked at, man. Get it lanced or something.
Now, what's your problem? Okay, is the toilet paper in your dressing room not double ply?
This is stupid. That dance chiropractor is a Fruit Loop. This is not who I am. This is not my image.
Did you deciding who you are get you anywhere? You deciding who you are got you nowhere. Me knowing what's best for you, that's what got you this gig. That's what got you radio play, TV exposure, relevancy again. Then you can just piss off out of my office and go back to obscurity.
I went and saw my mother. I hadn't seen her for 20 years. Said, how you going, Mumsy? You know what she said? Fuck off. I said, why? Sha-la-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. I went and saw Father Fitzpatrick. Forgive me, Father, I have sinned. How long since your last confession? Father, I'm a Protestant. And he said, fuck off. I said, why? Looking out on a beautiful night, I was overcome by a powerful light. Before I knew it, landing next to me was this huge unidentified flying machine. Out popped a little green man. I went up to shake him by the hand. I said, welcome to Earth, how do you do? He said, who the hell you think that you were talking to? Now fuck off. Together. They called me up on the phone. They said, come on over. We'll tell you what you want to know. So I went on over. My mother let me in. The Martian led me through. Fitzpatrick poured me a gin.
Hey, baby. Got a lot?
A light? Yeah, I wish. My whole world is just darkness. It's all a charade. All the good times, just an illusion. Manufactured with smoke and mirrors by Machiavellian string-pulling, psychic, blood-sucking vampires.
Oh, come on, honey. Things aren't all that bad.
You reckon? How would you possibly understand? Do you know what it's like? You know how dirty I feel prostituting myself like this?
You want some free advice?
Nothing's for free.
You are the captain of your own ship. And when you see that lighthouse light flashing, don't behave like a moth to the flame. Be wise. Steer the course. Selling your soul is only the symptom of a greater conflict, and not the conflict itself.
That's really profound. What you just said, that really resonates with me.
My pleasure, honey.
No, you're an angel. You've just changed my life.
I got 5 minutes.
What?
Hey, you're under arrest for solicitation.
Is the mic ready? Thank you. Bring the mic in. Just there. Okay, good. Thank you.
I've stuffed up, Harvey. I know I have. I've ruined my career.
Come on, mate. Look, it's not all that bad.
It's not all that bad. The first person I rang was the Swami. Now he wants nothing to do with me. He says my chakra is blocked with negative vibes and lustful thoughts.
That Ricky T has been arrested by police officers in St Kilda. Come on, get in there. Get in there with the bloody sound.
Ricky, how do you respond to the allegations that you are Mr. Big in Melbourne's largest ever prostitution ring?
Ricky, is it true you're sleeping with the president's wife? Ricky, is there any truth to the rumours that you got one of the Spice Girls pregnant?
I met the Spice Girl.
What do you say to the allegations that he was illegally importing Russian girls into the country?
I said it was legal.
Look, Ricky's had a tough 48 hours. All he wants to do is go home and get to bed. That's enough. Thank you very much. Come on, this way, please. Excuse me.
No comments, guys. I just...
Ricky, we'll be able to come back with... I'm not too sure what else happened. We weren't really told. Harvey didn't give us anything. Ricky didn't say anything. No, he didn't talk to me. So I was a little concerned about that. So get that fucking mic out of my face. All right, that. Not in your face. Ricky or Harvey didn't talk to me, so I'm a little concerned about that. What are you doing there?
And in breaking news, faded 80s pop star Ricky T is in police custody this evening.
Well, it seems Ricky T's triumphant return may have hit a bit of a snag following his arrest last night. Details are sketchy.
We pass now to St Kilda Road Police Station, where Camilla Jackson has a full update on the story.
Yes, and here we are outside the St Kilda Road Police Station, where only moments ago, ageing has-been pop star Ricky T was brought in under allegations of gross indecency.
Ricky T. Ricky T, your foot on. Abuse in our station.
Absolute genius.
Stop it.
I don't get it.
What's to get? You're all over the news. You can't buy that sort of publicity.
By tomorrow morning, every single tabloid magazine in the country is going to be banging down our door wanting an exclusive interview with you.
Shouldn't you guys be angry?
Far from it, Ricky. This little stunt has thrust you straight back into the limelight again.
What little stunt?
Look, what Harvey means is your little stunt with the hooker has made our jobs a lot easier.
I'm innocent. She came up to me and started chatting with me. I didn't know she was a hooker.
Semantics, buddy. All we have to do now is capitalise on the infamy.
It's public humiliation. No one will want anything to do with me now. I'm like a social leper. A punchline to 100 crappy pub jokes.
Ricky, public humiliation is the greatest adrenaline boost to any career. Look at George Michael, Hugh Grant, O.J. Simpson.
Maybe not so much OJ.
The point is, the public love to see a celeb in a compromising situation. Think about how you got your support gig in the first place.
Look, Ricky, it makes the celeb more human, more approachable.
The aim now is to capitalise on the incident and not dwell on the humiliation.
We have to embrace the positives.
How is this possibly positive?
Come and have a look over here.
It is increasing in numbers quite dramatically. There is a real buzz in the air here. One girl... Oh my goodness! And Ricky has appeared at the balcony. Oh my goodness! From the top of the building. He looks like he's wearing a black cape. He's wearing a black jumper.
I can't believe it. It's awesome. That's the spirit, Rickster. Now you just let Captain Harv steer the ship.
I think you're right. I reckon there is some sort of divine intervention going on around here.
Divine Brown, all right.
Yeah, sorry?
Divine sounds right. Come with me.
The man is an artist and he has a lot of talent.
From 19 to 17, beauty queen from magazine. Oh, baby, shake my tambourine. No tribe, just stay alive. Your body shakes, your mind's deprived. So take a dive or go inside, but don't you try to terrorize.
We're going to fulfill a purpose. And I believe that this time around, we're going to claim this thing in Jesus' name.
Welcome back, Ricky! Ricky's journey throughout life, do you think it has something to teach the world?
Definitely. I mean, this is why I subtitled my biography, A Hero's Journey. Isn't this the primal story of aspiration, defeat, and final redemption? I think it has something to say to all of us.
You'll be there for the comeback?
Oh, mate, I can't wait. I'm actually pitching a television special at Channel 10. I'm trying to, big shiny floor, a salute to Ricky T. We're just going to have to sing the same song 15 times, though.
But Ricky T, good luck, mate. You'll need it.
No, let's go, come on. It's over, it's over. Over, come on. Put the gig on.
They pulled the gig. They're saying that because of the arrest last week, it's going to damage Robbie's reputation to have you play on stage. Apparently his fans are going to be scandalised. And this clause states that if Ricky's involved in any compromising positions or any unsavoury public behaviour, then they can pull the pin and void the contract.
Ha! I knew you were a bastard loser! Goodbye, bastard loser! You can shove your ring up your flag hole!
It was painful to watch for Ricky to come this far, only to have his dream shattered into a million pieces.
I'm sorry, Rick. I really am.
It's not your fault, Harv. I knew this was all too good to be true.
Who wants to support that twat anyway? You don't need tweenies and housewives for validation. You're a professional musician, Ricky.
I'll let you down, Harvey. I'll let you down.
You never let me down once. You know what? I never took on this job for the power and the money, Ricky. I took it on because I believe in you. I always have. You know, even when I first heard your music, I knew even then where my destiny lay. Oh,
Show some respect.
I've always been your fan first, and your manager second. Who gives a shit anyway, hey? You've had your moment in the sun. You've had your one hit. Now, who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Gunge! Quick! Here, mate, it's got a break!
Arise.
Some men are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. And some, like Ricky T, accidentally stumble into theirs. At least for 5 minutes anyway.
That prick stole my act.
Because you are the biggest wanker, the biggest wanker we'll ever met. It's just a recording session.
He had this idea he wanted to adopt a Somalian child, and just because everyone else was, and he wanted that to lift up his profile.
He's totally incapable of being a father.
He and Angelina Jolie, they were fighting over this one beautiful child.
She'd put in applications for the same kid as well.
But they were actually tugging this young child, this toddler, and they were pulling it so hard between each other.
Why that kid? I mean, why he had to argue over that child?
And they dislocated the poor child's arms.
You know, what was special about that child?
They pulled them out of its sockets.
I thought he was actually being benevolent.
I mean, imagine that, you know, tugging, tugging, tugging.
What if he got the child and then didn't want it anymore?
The poor arm, they were like hanging, like that.
Like me, you know all the words, you know all the words to this song. It rings if we can sing, honey. I bet you don't realize everything hangs upon the things you decide. I hear volatile symphonies, heightens what I perceive. It keeps me alive. Like me, you know all the words, you know all the words to this song. Like me, you know all the words, you know all the words to this song. It rings if we can.
How come it's always me that gets pushed off the stage? It's never Gary Barlow, no, no.